What is up, beautiful humans? This is Blythe Langford, your personal freedom coach. And I really wanted to tune in about this because I had an experience the other day. This is not when the woman tried to stab me, but I had an experience the other day. I was at a friend's house, and a friend that I don't know so well, a man, and I've had a lot of people go on, a lot of people in my part, a lot of really bizarre situations in my younger years, in my 20s and anyway, ever since I had a massive trauma in my teenage years, I've had a lot of crazy shit go on, right? And so I was at a friend's house the other day and didn't know him that well, and but no, he's an amazing person. We're working on a whole lot of great things for this universe, but he was in the kitchen, everything was fine up until this moment. Everything was amazing. We're doing like lots of work on legislation. We're really trying to make a difference within the world and all of the things. Anyway, he started to clean a knife, and I had a massive like holy fuck moment, like, oh my gosh, this man is going to kill me. And I was like, what the fuck, like, just calm down, breathe, what the fuck is going on? Anyway, later on, when I went home and had another experience, I was doing some breath work, and I remembered when this woman tried to stab me. I had an experience in my 20s where this girl befriended me, and a fully single white female moment. She befriended me, and we were friends for like a few months before she tried to stab me. Let me backtrack to give you a little bit of story. So I was seeing this guy for like, I don't know, a month, right? And he told me that he was broken up with his chick, and so did all of his friends, because she lived in another state. Like, I was like, yeah, okay, cool, whatever. Like, they'd gone, I didn't think anything of it, because like, why would I think that a guy's lying to me and all of my friends are lying to me? He'd stopped seeing this chick. She'd moved to another state like a month before we got together. I was like, sweet, okay, cool. Anyway, I also knew that this chick was a bit crazy, but she'd moved to another state, so I didn't think anything of it. Anyway, I saw this guy for like a month. Then we stopped seeing each other because he's a fucking idiot. And anyway, this chick, his ex, started to like friend me. And this is before we had like mobile phones and Facebook and all of the things, right? Like, so she started to friend me, and like, then she'd come down to Sydney and like hang out with me and like call me on the phone, and like really became my friend. And like, I don't know, like this happened for 3 months. And so I really trusted this chick, that she had I had no clue that she was still hung up on this guy, and that she fucking hated me, right? But legit, she was like pretending to be like my best friend for like 3 months. Anyway, I'd had a big party at my house that weekend, and we all probably were quite high. And anyway, like after, I don't know, whatever, like 24 hours of partying, like everybody left. There was only me, my sister, and this chick. And she had invited one of her friends over, which my sister thought was a bit weird at the end of the party, because like my sister's like, we're all going home, chick, like you've got to leave. And she's like, no. And I'm like, she's like, Blood, do I have to leave? Like, can I like stay and hang out with you? And I had never really been with her one-on-one, not in a public place. So I was like, yeah, I mean, it's fine. And my sister's like, she's an intuitive as well. She's like, Blood, I don't feel right about this. Like, she said to me, like, as she was walking out, she's like, I don't feel right about this. Like, I'm going to call you later and make sure that you're okay. But like, I don't feel safe with you being here with this chick. And I'm like, no, don't worry about it. Like, I'm sweet. And I did karate. I got up to brown belt, so I'm like a bit of a wanker. I'm like, no, I can fully defend myself. It's okay. Don't worry. Like, we grew up a little bit rough, you know? So, yeah. Anyway, so my sister's like, okay, well, like, I'm going to leave, but like, call me if anything happens. Anyway, as soon as my sister left, this chick and her friend turned dark, like really fucking dark, like threatening me, but in a passive aggressive way, being like, so like, what would you do if like we, you know, just knocked you out and then actually just slit your throat, and then we like leave? Nobody would actually know, because you are here all by your fucking self. Like, what would you do? And I was like, in that moment, I knew that, okay, shit's going real. Shit is going down right now. And like I'm feeling it in my body still. Oh, it's awful, right? So this is an unresolved trauma that I didn't even realize was there, because I lost this, like I hadn't even thought about it until this guy with the knife came up the other day. And so like at that moment, I realized, fuck, if I have like weakness or anything like that within me, like I need to like just let that all go because I'm in survival mode right now. And so I need to like be there and be able to assert myself so that I don't fucking die, right? And so I was like, you know what, bitch, it's okay because I've done karate and I also know how to fucking defend myself. I was just making shit up because I just didn't want to die, right? And she's like, bitch, you know, there's two of us and look how big we are and you're a tiny little white girl. This chick was white as well, okay? One of the chicks was white, one of them wasn't. But anyway, she's like, and you're a tiny little fucking white girl and we're just going to hold you down and we're going to fucking fuck you up, right? And I was like, whatever. Anyway, I was just defending myself with words, but this was all like, like really weird, like not too crazy, like not, it wasn't aggressive yet. It was passive aggressive, right? In their approach and things like that. Anyway, and she's like, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea. And in my kitchen and the living room is all one place, right? And so she's over there making a cup of tea. And then I hear a rattling in the drawer where all my knives are. And then, you know, everything happened so quickly. So I like turned to like the other chick was trying to distract me. She threw something at me so I would look that way while this other chick was grabbing knives and then coming at me, right? So I'm just really fucking lucky that I was able to run upstairs while these two chicks, like one is massive and I'm a tiny little girl, right? Tiny little woman. And one of the chicks has like fucking knives, like two knives because she's going to give one to her other friend, two knives running for me as I'm like running up the stairs. I'm just so fucking lucky that my primal instinct kicked in and I was able to run and like lock myself in the bedroom. Thank fucking God I had my phone or else who knows what would have happened. But I was able to lock myself in the bedroom and put like something, my chest of drawers against that door and then go into my bathroom and call the police and lock that door while they are literally having knives trying to stab my bedroom door, right? And I'm so lucky that I was able to call the police and that I didn't get somebody racist on the other end of the phone and they had police there within a few minutes. And because I was white and because the chick downstairs that was trying to kill me was white and I didn't want to press charges on her, I don't know why, like I really don't know why I didn't want to press charges on her. I don't know. Anyway, because I thought something bad was going to happen. Something worse would have happened if I pressed charges. So she was able to walk out of my house and nothing happened to me, right? So I bring this story up not for myself. I bring this story up to make a point. How lucky am I that I was white? How lucky is that chick that she was white? Because imagine that we had a racist police officer come into my house and in that room, me being a white person and me, if I was an indigenous person and there was a white chick trying to stab me and that white chick had made up a story to the police about me, can you imagine how things would have shifted? And even though I was a fucking victim, I could have been, if I had a racist cop there, I was the one that could have possibly died, but at the hands of the police, or I could have possibly died or I could have possibly gone to jail because of the color of my skin, right? Or if the other chick, she wasn't white. If she wasn't white, there is no way they would have let her go away, right? So there was no way that they wouldn't have pressed charges on her because a chick was trying to stab me. There was knife marks in my fucking door and nothing happened to her. So imagine if she was a person of color, how different that situation would have gone down, right? So I just want to bring this up to highlight the inequality that is in our world. I want to use my stories so that they can empower other people. So hopefully it wakes more people up. And in that we all get to be part of this solution. So the littlest things that you can do, first of all, is if you are saying white, all lives matter or white lives matter, please fucking stop it and know that this is not about you right now. This is about Black and Indigenous people having equality because there is none, okay? It is very rare that a white police officer who isn't racist doesn't have racist tendencies. Do you know what I mean? So every single person in the force, will always look at a person of color as a criminal before they look at them as innocent. And that is what I'm really noticing a lot. So please, whatever, we need to change our minds first, and we need to change the people. It's not about manipulating, it's about waking people up, but change the minds of this taught racism that is the people around us, right? Like our friends, our family, in the shops, whoever it is. If there is anything that sounds racist or any comments that aren't right, or if you see privilege as well as racism, point it out so that more people become awake. So even if you are around a whole lot of white people and there's police or something, and some of those white people might be racist or they're whatever, like just point out how lucky we are. Like just allow your voice to just start tapping away at these people's walls, because this is how I see it. If there is a racist person, or if there is somebody that doesn't realize that they're actually not involved in anti-racism, because if you're not involved in anti-racism at the moment, then you're not actually doing anything. You're just sitting there and shutting up and allowing this racism to still go on. So the littlest things that you can do is, when there's a police officer walking by you, and they generally smile at white people, I've noticed, gross, point that out to people. Oh, aren't we lucky that we are white and privileged, because Black Indigenous people don't have that same option. Like, or if there is somebody saying something that sounds slightly racist, make sure that you speak up. Or if there is something that is like a white supremacy program, I noticed this within myself, and I'm trying to retrain my brain at this time, that like I will look at certain people and go, oh, aren't they beautiful? And then I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, catch yourself with the programs in your mind that are societal programs. So like I'm talking like, you know, like the people that you think are pretty, or the people that you are supporting, look at why you are supporting them and how they make you feel. And is that, like, what the fuck? Like, why have we been trained to think that certain people that look a certain way are pretty or more privileged, or they're better, or anything like that? They will generally look like tall, skinny, blonde, blue-eyed people. So let's start to change that within our own minds. Like, I am really pushing the boundaries of looking at everything in my world at the moment, so that I can retrain my own behaviors and my own beliefs around. And I've never really looked at people like color, so I don't have that within me. But the beliefs that I am looking at is, how can I shift sorry, I just saw somebody's comments and it just like screwed with me. How can I shift my own beliefs and subconscious programming, and be really aware of the subconscious programming, so that I can change these beliefs? So I'm literally rewiring my brain at the moment, and really concentrating on these like white supremacy programs that are so deeply ingrained, by becoming conscious in as many moments as I possibly can, to see what is going on and to see the programming that is there, so that I can shift and change the reality, like my reality. And so I would really love you, and this is what I'm working with all of my clients at the moment, we're like really going into the subconscious mind and seeing how we see the world, and starting to shift any beliefs, or, well, first of all, just seeing them, acknowledging and seeing what's there. And they may not be racist, or they may be, whatever, it depends on the person. Like I was saying, like mine is generally to do with people's weight and looking good and all of those things. So I'm really diving deep into that, and challenging that belief within myself. And it's really shifting my world. And I know that all of my clients are just having like, whoa, like we're all having huge shifts in our consciousness, and then a whole lot of shifts within our external environment with the people around us, so that we are literally having a great impact on all the people around us, whilst working on just cultivating our own energy a lot, so that we are always like strengthening our vibration, rather than raising the vibration and spiritually bypassing a whole lot of what is here. We're expanding our consciousness so that we can really be part of the solution in this dimension rather than spiritually bypassing, because we don't want to do that anymore. We don't want to bypass what is here and real. We really want to be able to create solutions that are going to work long term in our world for ourselves, for our families, and for everybody, so that people can remember that they are all black on the inside. We all got black grandmas, guys. We all come from black people. So once like more whiteys can remember that, then there is no separation. We are all one, and we can actually work on healing these healing the racism that has gone on and is continuing to going on, and really allowed healing to start for people that have dealt with so much, because there is so much sickness out there that has happened at the hands of the police and continues to happen, and so that we can all like be part of the solution and be part of the programs that the police get retrained on, and us as public servants get to remember that we are the public and these are public servants and they're not doing their job, and we all have to hold them accountable, and we all have to be part of being okay with how they're going to be trained, because our public servants are in the control of people who are sick and messed up, because we as the public aren't coming together as one people. So we come together with Black Lives Matter. That's how we come together. This movement is so important, first of all, because when Black Lives Matter, then all lives matters. And if you're like saying all lives matter, then like shut the fuck up, and all lives only matter when Black Lives Matter, right? And so then when we can come together as this movement, then we actually get to create massive impact on being part of the solution and how we change this world forever. And like I've said many times, like I'm literally studying legislation, I have been for a few years, and sovereignty, so that we can be part of this solution. But these programs really can only come in when we come together as one human race, because we as the public need to stand together so that we can be part of the solution and control our public servants. I personally don't think it's all about getting rid of the police, the police altogether. I think it's definitely getting rid of the racist police, 100%, and then reprogramming the police that are in there, because a lot of the police went into the police force not as stable humans, and they were definitely not trained to be like ethical, shall we say. So we need to be part of that solution. We need to be able to take a stand for what happens moving forward, and that is literally what we're working on at the moment. So I hope more people come together with supporting what is ethical and right, and remembering that Black Lives Matter. And right now, that is the most important thing. And yes, there is so much else going on, and yes, we've all got so much else going on in our world, and yes, there are so many people saying, well, this is ridiculous because all lives matter, and this is just like, just the government trying to create a civil war so that it separates us more. I'm not supporting Black lives. It's like, oh, just shut the fuck up. Like, seriously, just shut the fuck up and realize that racism, like, are you being racist? Like, really, are you gonna allow this to keep on happening and not admit that this is a problem? And yes, there's 5G, and yes, there's freaking vaccines, and yes, there's Bill Gates, and yes, there's kid trafficking, and yes, there's adrenochrome, and yes, there's all the fucking things. But you know what? The more of us that stand together as one humans, then we can have more power to change everything else. So it starts now with Black Lives Matter. We just are at this moment in time where we have to stand up for everything that we fucking believe in, for humanity, for Mother Earth, for fucking freedom. It's all there right here and now. So stand the fuck up, get onto whatever it is you need to get onto, sign the petition, support leaders, support indigenous people of color. Do your fucking part as much as you can, whilst at the same time looking after yourself so you can stay sane and whole and not lose your shit. And when you need help, reach out to somebody that can support you, because you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to struggle anymore. You don't have to suffer, because you get to be part of the solution for yourself internally, and the macro is the micro, right? So what happens internally is what happens externally. So look after yourself, get a coach, somebody to support you so that you can be part of the solutions that are here and present for you and for our world as well. So yes, and support all, do your research, like do your research wherever you're incongruent with things or need to like learn a whole lot of things about people of color or cultures or anything like that. Go and do your research, learn, shop, buy from, support, whether it be through protesting is great, or whether it be through purchasing like food and clothing and anything that you can buy, textiles or stationery, everything. Like see where you can get it from people of color, or support up and coming leaders, people that are indigenous of color. Like go and follow their pages and support them, because they don't have the same support or platforms that other people do. Like let's just allow our privilege to boost up other people who haven't had the same equality as we have. And what I mean by that is like, oh yeah, like people be like, oh yeah, but we all grew up in Australia, like, you know, they grew up down the street from. No, nope, they didn't get the same privileges as you did. They did not get the same privileges as you did. Think about your parents and your parents and your great-grandparents and even if you came from like white slaves that came over as convicts or whatever, all of the things. Like I hear these stories all the time, but my parents, like my great-grandparents, were slaves as well, you know, it's so unfair, It's like, it doesn't even compare. I'll be honest, it doesn't even compare. Like when I hear people say that, I just feel like, how are you not looking within you and realizing that your great-great-granddaddy's like land came from killing and slaughtering and enslaving other people? Like, wake the fuck up and realize that our ancestors were fucking assholes. I wanted to say the C word because that's actually an African priestess. Oh my gosh, that's another thing to talk about. Like we actually, if you've got white in you, you came from a whole lot of fucked up shit. So let's just own that. And the way that we can correct it is by, in our lives right now, doing something about it and supporting people of color, in supporting our indigenous, and supporting getting elders' stories out there, and supporting getting more indigenous people in media, in the government, in wherever it is that they want to be going into, so that we have equal voices, so that we understand what is going on and has gone on for these people that like we haven't heard enough. And first of all, we need to create a safe environment. And what I mean by that is like publicly, whether it be on social media and all of that, like our platforms and us showing our support creates a safe environment. Because a lot of people that are of color, they're not going to just share their story straight away, because you know what? They don't trust you. They don't trust us. They don't feel safe. And why should they? So it's up to us to all be there supporting as much as we can. And it's just a journey that we're all on together as a human race, to trust ourselves internally, to trust, and for other people to like get trust between each other. And it's just relationship building and support and coming together. And I'm just ranting, and it's really late at night, and I'm going to get off now. But if you are suffering with anything, then get in touch. This is the work that I do. It's on my heart, like supporting people through the spiritual evolution that they didn't realize is actually going on, or supporting them through struggles, or supporting people through racism because they want to feel like they're like, I know I'm racist as fuck, but I actually don't give a fuck because I think that all lives matter and people are selfish. There is people reaching out to me like that, which is great, because then we actually get to work on compassion and empathy and taking your emotional intelligence to that next level, and learning personal development techniques that really start to free your internal landscape, so that you can create massive impact in your family, in your heart, in your body, in your soul, and create that deep, profound love for yourself, so then you can love from the overflow of your full up cup, rather than trying to get other things to fill you up that aren't actually doing all the things that you wish they did. So I'm going to leave it there for tonight, and I just want to send you all so much love. We're in this together, and wherever you are is absolutely perfect. And what are you going to choose next for yourself and for humanity, and how are you going to be part of the solution? I love you. I love you so much. We're changing the world together. And don't think that your voice doesn't matter. Your voice matters so very much in every place, whether you're just in your own home, whether you're in a shopping center, whether you're on a social media platform, whether you're walking down the street, your voice matters all the time. Don't think that, you know, it's on the quantum as well as the physical. Like, once you put something out there and you stand up and you take a stand, even if it seems like nothing to you, it's huge. It's like another shift, and then that creates like a frequency that goes out to all the people that are around you, because they hear that and energetically they feel that. So we're changing, and we're growing and evolving together. So be part of the solution. Your voice matters, and I love you so much. And if you need anything, I'm here for you. Blythe Langford, your personal freedom coach. I love you so much. Mwah. Oh, just have so much hope for this world, have so much hope for humanity, and just like hoping that it's the thing. I see good visions. So I'm just so grateful for them, like so grateful. Love you.